Sha'ban, which means that less than 3 weeks we're going to start the month of Ramadan. And we should already start focusing and setting our sights on what we're going to be doing and how we can achieve that. If we wait till Ramadan begins to actually form a plan, to get in the mindset of doing and having Ramadan, taking benefit from the month of Ramadan, we'll see a lot of Ramadan will pass before we even start doing what we plan to do. The way we have to do it is plan right now, start doing things, getting ourselves ready for the month of Ramadan, that way we can take benefit right from the beginning. That's what the Prophet ﷺ, he would fast most of this month. And the Sahaba, they would say, I've never seen the Prophet ﷺ fast more days in a month other than the month of Ramadan than in the month of Sha'ban. And there's a spiritual reason for doing it, and there's also just a physical reason for doing it as well too. The Prophet ﷺ says the month of Sha'ban is ignored because it's between two very powerful months. The month of Rajab is one of the first 4 sacred months, and then the month of Ramadan, which is a very holy month. So a lot of people just think like, okay, you know what, it's time for a break. The Prophet ﷺ didn't see it that way. He said people are forgetting about it. We have to make sure we don't. So he would fast majority of it, but he would say 3 days before the month of Ramadan comes, don't fast. So those 3 days, at least you don't want to fast so much that you get weak, and then you get weak in the month of Ramadan, and then you miss it. Even though it's excused, you don't want to miss any days of Ramadan. And then to others, the Prophet ﷺ said, don't fast more than half of Sha'ban. Now the Prophet ﷺ, he had, mashallah, extra strength than what normal people would have, so he could probably do more. So if you do have the strength to go up to the 27th of Sha'ban or 26th of Sha'ban, you can do it as long as it's not going to affect your Ramadan. If it is, then do at least at most half of Sha'ban. If not even that, just do a day here, that even if it's 1 day, it at least gets your mindset ready for that 1 day, that you know what, this is what's going to happen in the month of Ramadan. How did I feel? I was really thirsty. I need to change my diet. I need to change my habits. Start doing something so I don't sleep the whole day. And you start preparing yourself. And the other thing that we want to do is, this is just physically us trying to prepare ourselves for the month of Ramadan. Our bodies will get used to it. Our minds will get used to it. And we start to set up diets and acts that we can do so that we don't just sleep the whole day. But one of the main words that we want to focus, where Allah SWT brings it in the Quran for the purpose of Ramadan, is taqwa. And just so we get understanding what taqwa is, I don't want to get into too much of it, but it actually comes from the word wiqaya. Wiqaya means to save. Now when you take wiqaya and you put it in this form, which is ifti'al, it becomes iltiqa. But to make it easy, the wa turns to a ta, and it becomes ittiqa, and the ya turns to a hamza, so it becomes taqwa. Now wiqaya means to save. When you put it in this form, ittiqa, it means you're trying to save yourself. And that's what taqwa is. Every time we say it's being conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but the reason why you're conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is because while you're conscious with Him, you are going to save yourself, because you're going to make the right decision. If you're not conscious and you're thinking of other things, you easily start making decisions that will be harmful to you. For example, if I'm driving, if I'm paying attention to the rules, the signs, the lights, everything, I'm protecting myself from a ticket, from an accident, from all those other things. But if I start daydreaming, or I start focusing on different things, or I start playing with my phone, all of a sudden I can get into an accident. I'm not protecting myself. I could run a red light. I could get pulled over. Now I'm not looking out for myself. So this is where we say that being conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a definition of taqwa, because when you are conscious of Him, you're about to eat something. Wait, is this halal or haram? You're about to earn money. Wait, is this halal or haram? You're about to say something. Wait, is this going to benefit or harm? You're about to do something because you're thinking, what does Allah say about what you're going to do? Now you're having taqwa. So in this next couple of weeks that's remaining for the month of Ramadan, try to apply that definition of taqwa, where everything I do is going to be a means of salvation for myself. It will save me. And whatever I do that's going to harm me, I'm going to let it go. And you'll see that in the practice of these 3 weeks, you'll do it in the month of Ramadan much more carefully, and you'll take much more benefit of the month of Ramadan. Even sometimes, for example, you want to pray. But at that time for prayer, that might harm you. And that's what the Prophet ﷺ says, when you get drowsy, go to sleep. But at the same time, if you sleep the whole day, that could harm you, because now you're not getting any benefit from the Quran or the Salah in the midday or anything like that. So for everyone's different, but as long as you do what will save you, then you're applying taqwa to yourself. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for all of us and forgive us for all of our shortcomings. Jazakumullah khair.